Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome on in. Let me go back through some subs. Hold on. Carl Green, thank you for the tier 3. Thank you so much for that. Geo, thank you for the 18 months. Ginterface tier 3 for 27 months. What's up, Big Butter Guy? Welcome to the chat. Aji, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. It's huge. I really appreciate that. Josh Tola with the bits. Biscuit with the 52 months. I can't believe that's real. I remember when we started hitting like 20 something months as the max. Like I wasn't even 2 years in streaming yet, you know, and I was looking at it and I was like, that's crazy. Some people have like 50 months. Right? Like I was like, that's so nuts. Bearded Duck Witch with the 12 months. Thank you. Kenner's tier 3, 26 months. Huge. Titanium Turtle, thank you for the 27 months. And Josh Dola, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Hold on, I'm scrolling. Arachnid, thank you for the 4 months. Dead Man Inside, 23 months. Techno with the Prime for 20. Josh Tola for the tier 3, 11 months. Ryuko with the 39. Palcaba with the 6. Klebens with the 31. Andrew with the 18. Jen Seb with the 6. I'm scrolling. Astral Phoenix with the 35. Speakman with the 24. Tier 3, that's 2 years. All right, that should be everybody. Thank you all. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Oh my.
Oh boy.
Is that Space GEEGA and her trusty duo of evil?
Oh my.
And what are they plotting now? They destroyed the moon, eradicated Salem Moon. What are their plans with Tuxedo Mask?
Waterboarding, hands down. Hands down.
Law accurate Matara.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, she uses a Snow app and she has filters on when she streams. So, you know, she looks like nice and smoothed out and it gets rid of her hunch. But, you know, we like to go all natural on the show. So all I ask is you just be nice. Yeah, she fully gunches. Just be nice to her, okay? That's all I ask. So what if she scrimps a little bit? Scrimps are bugs, right? A little shrimp is a little bug. Also, Jeremy, thank you for the 24 months. And Jupiter, thank you for the 25. I have a question, guys. I have a question. Because I can just practice this more or less. At some point, I stopped thanking subs so much midstream. I do them if they come in at the beginning or at the end, or if it's like a bomb of gifted subs. But for like regular resubs or people just subbing, maybe it's the first one I do it, I tend to like not say something about it. Unless there's nothing going on the stream in that moment. But if I'm like talking, I don't stop what I'm saying to thank, right? Do you guys care? Do you like when, because I don't care either way. I just thought that people would prefer like the viewing experience if like there's no interruption. But do you guys actually like enjoy that? I don't care either way, you know? Like whatever feels best for you guys, honestly. Don't say it's up to you. I'm asking you on purpose. I'm asking the question for a reason. I don't care about what I think because I don't care either way. Hence why I'm asking a question. But yeah, what do you feel? Because like if people like want that, then I don't mind doing it. I just tend to not always. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I just don't make an effort to like always do it. In the middle of stream when we're like talking and doing shit, you know, unless it's like a gifted thing, like beyond what's normal, you know. Just so as not to like interrupt the broadcast. I feel like there's already an alert with your name on the screen. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, I think that's enough. But I don't know, just whatever you guys prefer, you tell me. A lot of people saying nah. A couple people say it's nice. Czar with the tier 2 37 months said, I could really go for a banana fish pea soup.
When are you going to have Bobcat Goldthwait as a guest on the stream repeatedly?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I need to... Boy, George. I have to make up some stupid, like, fuck-ass characters. Or let some friends do it and just bring them on. I really need it. Yeah, some people saying they like it, but they don't like the interruption. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll kind of continue what I'm doing, which is like if I'm playing a game, I finish my thought. I'm not actively in the middle of a rant or saying something and I see a resub, I'll thank it. But if I'm in the middle of talking or there's like something ongoing, like we're in a cutscene or there's really something going on, I won't stop and like interrupt. I think it's a good balance. Just know that I'm gonna do that. So if you want your resub read out, hold it, do it at the beginning of stream or at the end or something, you know. I think that's best. I even got rid of the TTS on resubs because so many people would type messages that were nice, but then it would get read out by TTS and they were like, fuck, I didn't think it was gonna get read out. I'm sorry. Like it happened so much that I was like, okay, I'll just make it like only with bits. So you have to really intend for TTS to happen, you know? Because people would always be like, I didn't know. So we'll keep that energy, that vibe, I think. Get Andy Merrill to read a couple things for redeems his Brack. Oh yeah, no, he does the Brack voice still all the time, constantly. I follow him on Twitter. I gotta see what he owns for the character of Brack. Like all VAs can do voices, but can they do certain things with it? Can they monetize it in certain ways? I don't know, because I kind of wanted to like reach out to him for something, but I just don't know what he can do. So we'll see. I don't see TTS survive many streams at a certain size. Yeah. I asked a lot of friends, like a lot of streamer friends, like that don't thank resubs midstream. They don't really address them too much. Kind of why, to get thoughts. And it made a lot of sense, but I don't want to like never do it. You know? Some people straight full ignore all of it, and I'm like, if I'm not doing anything in that moment important, then like, you know, what's the harm? Right? I don't know. But yeah, I think about it a lot. These sorts of little things. Anyway, something we out here, something beginning of stream at the lounge. We're here in the lounge. I have to figure out, I'll do a more formal announcement later. I'm figuring out dates of some things still. But I wanted to take a break at some point because I meant to take a break. I wanted to do a summer one. Just a couple weeks, nothing like crazy. Not like a month or something. But I wanted to do one over the summer. But then everything was happening, you know? And I felt like before or after leaving or whatever, like all of the timing did not feel good. And then more stuff happened in July, more news, and I was like, okay, now it's definitely not the time. And then I had August was like my birthday and anniversary thing was then, or not anniversary, it was birthday, and then like September was September, and like, you know, like it just kept getting pushed, and I'm like, it's been months. Like I settled to do this like months ago, and then I still haven't. So I think we'll do it in October. We'll do it in this month. I don't want to be gone for a full month. I don't want to do that. That's way too long. But I have so much stuff I have to do. There's a lot that I have to do, like, health-wise. There's a lot I have to do with just, like, home stuff. There's, like, work I have to do on this place, too. And I don't want to have people come in here and be, like, making a lot of noise and everything and, like, trying to stream through it. I have to do several rounds of stuff on this place where I have to have people come in. I want to redo a bathroom. You know, like, there's stuff like that. So I'm gonna get like some stuff done, and I feel like I really can't stream through that. So I want to keep like doing stuff, keep working, but I think like Twitch itself maybe doing like a little break, because then all the other stuff I can just do like in spare time at weird hours of the night, you know, whatever. But yeah, so I don't know exactly when. I was thinking of starting it sometime this week, but I have a collab with Henya. We're playing Little Nightmares 3. We're playing Little Nightmares 3. That's a duo Little Nightmares game that's coming out, and it's coming out Thursday. We're playing it Thursday night. So I'm thinking maybe I stream that day. Maybe we stream today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. Or maybe just today, tomorrow, and then I just like go live on Alt of my POV for Thursday. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure it out. No matter what, I'm still gonna do like collabs that I'm slated to do, because I'm just gonna be home doing work and stuff, and like doing things on my home, literally, things like that. I might go visit family here and there for like a day or two at a time, but I'm pretty much always gonna be home. So I think I'll still do like a lot of collabs and things. I might play on like SCRP, but I'm trying to, yeah, like a staycation. I'm trying to like not commit myself to streaming for a little bit, like 2 weeks or something, to get a lot of other shit done. Because I'm gonna be honest, if you put, let me look it up, the number of hours I do. Like in September, I streamed 122 hours on this channel. But then if you add my alt channel, in September, I streamed 58 hours on there. So I streamed 180 hours in September, which is, you know, pretty typical for me to always stream 150 hours plus total. It's a lot of time. Yeah. It's a lot of time, and I still get a lot of the things done that I want to get done, but there's more I want to do. And there are some things that I want to like shift, and I feel like I can't change anything. I cannot change a single thing when I have this constant schedule. Right? You know how hard it is to change things when you've got like a really specific routine and it's like 6 days a week, and the seventh day I'm still doing shit too. I'm still working, I'm recording on those days, all these things. I have other work too, not non-streaming work that I need to get done. Some of it's YouTube, some of it's other stuff, but I have all of this like non-stream work that needs to get done too, that I'm not really like running up on deadlines for, but I want to just get it out of the way. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, maybe every couple of months I should just do like a week off. So I think for this one I'll do like a larger one, and then maybe every other month we do a week. You know, I don't know. I'll figure it out, but I'm trying to figure out like the right pacing, because I have a lot of stuff. That's upcoming too, especially. So I'm trying to figure out like the right pacing for it, but yeah, I'll post like on Discord and on Twitter when I decide exactly what days we're doing it. Thank you for the tip, by the way, Ghost. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, I want a nice break, and I don't want to do like I don't think I'm on the verge of crashing out and like crashing and burning and, you know, full burnout or anything like that, right? Like, I think I'll be okay. I won't burn out, but I won't be able to do the stuff I want to do, you know? And if I try to do all the extra shit plus keeping my existing schedule, then I'll burn out. So I'm like, all right, so we got to take away from here and add to there for a little bit. But yeah, I'm definitely not like on the verge of burning out, but I would be if I start doing all this other stuff. And I'm doing some stuff, I can't talk about any specifics, but I'm also doing like voice work and things too. And I don't think people realize how much time it takes. Like, it takes a fuck ton of time to sit there and record shit. Not just from redoing stuff over and over, but you just spend so much time. It takes hours. And you'll notice that anyone who streams and like is a voice actor, especially if they're a voice actor first, they take huge breaks from streaming because they're like constantly doing these roles. Someone I work with on this, she was like, yeah, I'm doing an audio book, and I record for 8 hours a day to get this book done within the next 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh, like it's a lot of time, you know, when you're on these like contracts and stuff. So yeah, so I'm just working on like a lot of stuff. So yeah, I will figure out what days we're doing, but we're either going to start taking off this week, like weekdays, or this weekend. And you'll still see me like playing some games. I'll do like SCRP and GTA here and there, but it will be very in between everything else, and I won't commit myself to streaming for like 2.5 weeks maybe, just to be safe with that. say you had to take quite a breather because his voice was getting overworked recently? Oh yeah, oh yeah. My voice has changed over time from streaming, from the amount I talk and everything. I would say actually the bigger change is just from like not having cancer anymore, and being able to breathe properly. I can speak in like a more comfortable lower spot, because I don't have like, I'm not chest breathing with my rib cage all the time, right? So that has changed it, but also just in general, talking a lot has changed it too. I've noticed that when I watch old highlights or VODs. Yeah, if you listen to yeah, old content of me, I spoke definitely in a more sharp, a little higher pitched and very I don't know. I don't know if you can hear it, but I could tell I was not getting a lot of air. If that makes sense. I had to like try hard to project my voice, but I couldn't deep project because I couldn't like breathe with my diaphragm properly. So the voice came out a little higher, a little thinner. I think thinner is the right way to describe it, right? Yeah, you can hear it. You can 100% hear it in old VODs and clips. I literally breathed differently. I was breathing with my rib cage. So my voice has definitely changed over time. But outside of that, it's also changed a bit just from the constant talking. So I'm like, I wonder if what a certain amount of vocal rest would do, if anything would change or if I would feel different. I haven't given myself that vocal rest, so I genuinely don't know. Even when I got my surgery, I was not out for that long. I was still healing and I came right back and started streaming again, you know? So the mic change was huge also. Yeah, the mic changed it a lot. But yeah. I could hear you hurting while laughing too sometimes. Dude, oh my God. Laughing was so painful back then. Genuinely. It was painful, uncomfortable, more uncomfortable than painful until like the very end. But it was like just so uncomfortable laughing. Yeah. So it definitely like I was actively speaking and laughing differently to like not cause discomfort, you know? Which I could just do, but yeah. Did you remove your lower ribs to self-suck? Dude, I saw it. Text me, we don't have to delete that. I saw this video of someone during a streamer talent show being like, I'm gonna show you how to self-suck. And they were clothed, but they put their back against they were laying down on the floor and they lifted up their legs and lifted them all the way over their head and they were like, here you go. But the thing is, they weren't folded on themselves that much, and I was like, what are you, like a 12-incher? Like, you can't, what are you talking about? It was crazy. It was so funny. That shit was deranged. Anyway, that was in a YouTube video I watched the other day. So stupid. Yeah, there was effort at least. I was just like, God, man, God. Oh,
so
man.
true, GEEGA.
So true. Thank you for the bits. It was so hard being so funny and attractive, knowing GEEGA would be in pain when I would say my funny quips. Yeah, you got it so hard. You got it so hard out there. Yeah, but yeah, TLDR, I'm gonna pick a day. I'll post on Twitter. I'll post on Discord. I'm gonna pick a day to be like, okay, last full stream until I like take a break for a bit. I will still be making YouTube content. I might still stream on alt if I am doing something that I just want the footage from.
So true, so real, Frogwine.
So true. Thank you for the bits. But yeah, I might still stream on alt if I really want the footage of something, because I'm gonna be really focused on like content planning, recording a lot of things that I need to record for voice stuff, and then doing talk. Thank you for the $10, and then doing just YouTube things in general. So yeah, I might still pop up on alt for like if I'm doing a collab and I want my POV. Instead of hitting the record button on OBS, I might just like stream it to the alt channel because it's easier to grab the footage from there. But yeah, that's at most. And then we'll do stuff in Discord too. Especially if you're in the Patricians parlor, if you're a tier 3 sub, or you're in there from any other means, points related stuff, whatever. We'll do that. I was thinking we can keep doing offerings, and maybe I would open a Discord stage and do the offerings in there at some point. And just do it that way. So that way, like, that's still ongoing, so it doesn't get like fully paused, you know? So community stuff I'll keep on going. We'll just be enclosed in the Discord. You know, we'll just be enclosed in the Discord for a bit. But yeah, and so I'm thinking like 2.5 weeks or something at most. Definitely won't be a full month or so. I don't think I need that much time to get my shit done. But yeah, we'll see. But it'll be nice because I need it. I need it. I'll need it. She's gonna join the Patricians League sections. I might actually play Abrams in there. I might. Put up your older video on a second screen. I can hear now what you mean about voice change. It sounds warmer now. Yeah, because I couldn't, because I can take full breaths. And I can speak from my diaphragm now. I couldn't. I genuinely could not before. I could not breathe all the way down. I could not move my diaphragm all the way down. Straight up. I will say the very, very early content, like my first year, I also had a different mic. So my health wasn't as bad at that time, but my microphone was different, and I feel like it only picked up the higher tones, and it really, there were like no low tones at all. Nothing came through on that mic. And then I swapped microphones, and it changed a bit, but I still had some issues with breathing, so, you know, there was that. But yeah, it's more comfortable now. I'm way more comfortable speaking in general, you know, physically. There are league sessions in Patrician section. Yeah, if you're in the Patricians parlor, it's a party in there. You know, I didn't realize this before. I realized this recently. A friend that was going over, like, they were like, how many tier 3 subs do people actually have? And we were going over it. And a lot of, like, my creator friends don't really have that many tier 3 subs, but we actually have a lot. And I think it's because everyone, like, in there, like, hangs out. Like, genuinely hangs out a lot. And I was like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of, it's a club, you know? It's a club. It's neat. But yeah, it's always good in there. It's always good. Tier 3 is actually worth it here. Well, yeah, because we actually do shit. Because we actually do shit. You know? That's actually something that I want to do on the break too, right? Is like be more active in Discord and just do a little more community shit for a while. Just for the people that are active there. I think it'd be, sorry, I smacked the bowl. I think that'd be nice. I think that'd be good. You can take a full month. I would still come back. I don't want to take a full month, though. I genuinely don't. I just want to take long enough of a break, just from Twitch, not from everything else, just to get certain things done. And then what I want to do after that is schedule in, like, every other month or every third month, a week that I take off regularly. And that way, if I'm keeping some of this work, like, ongoing, if it keeps happening, I will always have that time scheduled out to, like, sit down and crunch on it. And then also like family shit. There are some people I want to see that I can't see unless I, like, go sleep over there for a night or two, you know, because they're like a bit farther. Day trips are just not possible for some of them. So I really need to do that or I will never see them. I will never see them. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. So I'm just gonna, I have a whole fucking laundry list of things I'm gonna do. But we'll see. Be more interested in how many tier 2 subs channels have. Seems like there's more incentive to stay at 1 or jump to 3. Tier 2 is like a more expensive one on most channels. Yeah, I always wanted to, like, that's another thing. I'm gonna be, like, revamping, thinking of every little thing during this time. I wanted to think about that more. And figure out, like, are there things that I want to do, but I can't because we have too big of a community, right? That's always the case. When your community gets big, there are certain things you can't do. So could I maybe still do some of those things, but then make it so that only tier 2 and up can contribute to those things or do those things or something, right? Like, isn't that the point of doing that, is to cut down to a smaller focus group so that you can still do certain content that is impossible at large scale? You know? That's a thought. That's a thought of mine. We do have, like, a lot of tier 3 subs, but I'm like, what if I incentivize 2? Because 2 is only a little more expensive than 1, but 3 is, like, multiple times more expensive, right? So yeah, I'm just thinking about it. Maybe I won't be able to implement it well. Maybe I'm just like, yeah, it's 1 or 3. Like, that's all that makes sense here. But I'll think about it. I think there could be fun shit we could do. Maybe there could be fun shit we could do. So We shall see. Hi, Joel. How are you? Moving on to Discord type shit. Maybe we have, no matter what, at the end of the month, I'm going to force everyone to watch Young Frankenstein again. Okay, because it's October. No matter what, we're doing that. That's a given. Okay. We're doing Young Frankenstein. We always do it. We have to. So, we're gonna do that. I have to see if there's like I don't think there's any way we can watch it on stream. But what we can do is we can watch it and I can play it on stream and I can give you a link to it and capture the timestamp in the corner of like where we are. And then sit with friends and watch it, and you can sit there and sync it up and watch at the same time. That is the other thing. Or some people use like Google Timer and they like press the button when they start it. Yeah, proper watch along. Could do it like that. Could also show them up stage to make it easy. Yeah, you could do it. You could do it at the same time, probably, right? Doesn't Bruce do that? A lot of people do that. We've done it before. We did one with we did 2 watch-alongs with Girl DM on YouTube. so I've done it before. So maybe I'll grab like a friend or two and we watch it together. I thought it'd be fun to get someone who like hasn't seen it. I kind of wanted, yeah, we watched Bill and Ted. I kind of wanted to grab Michi for it because I feel like it's like a type of humor she's not exposed to. So I want to like make her watch cringe old American stuff. Could do a Discord only watch along off stream. So the reason why we don't do that is because there are too many people. There's too many people. When I attend and I'm commentating in a Discord watch along, it's too many people for one channel. So then if I make it a stage, the problem is I used to do my alt streams in Discord using stages. Discord fucks up and it doesn't, when you have too many people trying to watch, it just stops broadcasting to like everyone. It just, the stages just poop out. They just poop out. So we do watch party nights every Saturday. We do movie nights and things. But those are specifically like not run and commentated by me. And that tends to be a bit more like mellow. So those still exist if you're interested in that. And they're really fun. But when I host like an official watch along and I'm commentating and stuff, it just, it's too much for Discord. So that's kind of like, the alt channel is for shit like that. Because there used to be so much I would do in Discord, but we just grew too much, which is a great thing. It's a great problem to have, but yeah, we grew too much. I wish Discord would like upgrade their servers and fix their framework for all of that, because I would love to just do more in there. I really liked using Discord for that, but yeah, it's just not possible. It's just not possible. So we have the alt channel, I guess. Sakura, thank you for the 41 months of tier 3. The GTA streams were rough. Yeah, before I made the alt channel, that's where I was continuing everything. Or if I was like grinding for extra time, I would like do it on there. But yeah, yeah. But hey, alt channel exists for a reason, so it's just as easy for me. Only difference is I have to open OBS, but that's not a problem. Because honestly, for the alt streams on Discord, a lot of the time I still open OBS, so you could still see like my model and stuff, and then I would capture that visually. so it's literally the same, honestly. And then the difference is on the alt channel, if anyone's watching unsubbed, I get some ad revenue. Yay. It's like $3, but you know, it's something. Because I have it set to the minimum, but it's something. So that's cool. Yeah, the 1 FPS chases. It was we were doing a lot of bank robberies on Discord too, and you guys would watch the chase and it would be like a slideshow, and I felt so bad. I felt so bad. It started off so good, but it got real cooked. It got real cooked. I feel like you doing just chatting at the beginning streams helps tie things together a lot. I sub 2 3 almost entirely because of how much you sit and talk to us. Feels more personable. I appreciate that. I've actually been trying on some days cut down a little, because I would often like sit here and talk for literally 3 hours, right? We're like doing just radio, you know, just radio for like 3 hours, and then I'd start gaming, and then I'd be like, I haven't gotten through this game yet. oh, I need 5 more hours to finish this game. So I'm trying to do like under two. Sometimes with just an hour and 15 in, and we're like, let's go, you know? So, yeah. The audio quality is cooked. Oh, on the Discord streams? Dude, I one of the mods one time, I was like, how cooked is it from your POV? One of the mods took my Discord screen share and recorded it for me and then sent it back and was like, this is what I hear. And I got to hear what the audio quality was like on those like slideshows. Oh my God. The police sirens going and getting like garbled and shit was so funny. I was like, I honestly like it just as a comedic bit, just doing these cooked streams. It was really good. It was funny. It was funny as fuck. But I'm also the kind of person that, like, when stuff just gets fucked, I think it's funny. Like, there's nothing funnier than things getting, like, baked, you know, cooked. And that's just me. That shit was hilarious. Hilarious. So, oh well. I don't know. You really like the most VTubers spend 30 minutes plus at the start yapping, catching up. Yeah, I think it's nice, because I do also, if I'm playing a game, I like to let people like have time to realize, figure out, oh, she's live, oh shit, let me get there, and spend time getting here, and then I start the game. Because anytime, sometimes it doesn't matter depending on what I'm playing, but if it's like story related or there's some sort of progression to this game that people are trying to follow along, I hate like starting the game immediately and then people are still kind of like rolling in for the first hour and they're like, oh, I missed it, what happened, can you recap, you know? So I do like yeah, I do like having like just chill time at the beginning, because it lets people like, you know, get here slowly. I'll let me get back from work. The time I stream too, yeah, is very... If you're EU, you can sit down and watch a lot of this and then go to bed at some point midstream. If you're NA, you're probably at work when I start, you know? So, yeah. There are days where I do like to just start in the category. I don't do it very often, but like certain collabs and stuff, I'm like, well, I don't want to start my stream an hour earlier to get my chatting in. I'll just start and go straight in the category, you know, it's whatever. Or like when I was in GTA, I would still yap first, but I started just hopping straight in because so much of those streams, I would like be with people, talking to them, doing stuff, and then there would be a time where I'd be just driving around doing something on my own, and that was just chatting. You know? I was just chatting the whole time. So for that, I was like, yeah, I'll just start in the category because we're still getting like that time in. But yeah. Australia, your morning entertainment? Yeah. Like a morning show for you guys. It's funny. That's funny. But yeah, so I don't know. I think constantly, like, probably too much about starting times and everything, and like, oh, should I move earlier? Oh, should I move later? Oh, should I move, you know? But I thought about it so much, but I still haven't changed it. So I'm like, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters, as long as I'm just keeping it consistent, honestly. Oh well. Anyway, but yeah, I want to do some things. Oh. I will announce this at some point. I'm still figuring out how to do it, but we currently have a rule in the Discord that I wanted to adjust or get rid of. And it's the blanket term we refer to it as is the, like, you can't dox yourself rule. Like, no doxing yourself in the server. But that includes, like, you can't even post a picture of yourself. Even if you don't include your name or where you are, whatever, it even includes, like, pictures and all that. And we usually tell people not to, or we're like, hey, cover your face or whatever. I think we did that just for liability because, like, some other issues had happened in other communities, whatever. But, at this point, you know, the community is 18 plus, and it says it in the Discord. It says, like, you have to be an adult to be here. And I'm at the point where I'm like, if you post your face and you're an adult, I don't really care anymore because I feel like it's restricting us a little bit. Like, yeah, people want to do drip checks. There are people who are like, we talk a lot about like hygiene or like hair or whatever, and then someone will be like, I want to post my beard and ask people if my beard is good for me or not, but I can't because the face thing, you know. So I'm like, I want to like adjust it, and I don't feel bad adjusting it because we've been pretty solidly like, hey, you must be 18 for a while now, long enough that I'm like, I think we're good. So I'll figure out exactly how we're gonna do it. Yeah, cosplayers sharing outfits, right, stuff like that. And then there's also some content I want to do where you guys can share things and we can rate them, whatever. But you can like never show yourself, you know. Yeah, so I'm gonna adjust the rule. Like, yes, don't post your social security. Don't post your address or anything too close to home. We don't want first name, last name. You know, like the basic personal info stuff is still gonna be like, if we see it, we're getting rid of it. But I think like taking a picture of yourself, it's just at your own risk. I don't care that much, you know. But yeah, so I'm gonna go in until that rule is adjusted. Just consider us still under the old version of it. But I wanted to change it. I also wanted to like do like drip reviews and stuff like that, you know. And I'm like, I want you to be able to show yourself if you want to for the sake of it. And then like if you don't want to, then you choose to cover it with an emoji or whatever the fuck, you know. But yeah, so we're gonna figure out how we want to like rewrite that rule. Because I just wanted to loosen up on a bunch of things in certain ways, not everything. But yeah, I'm just looking at it. I'm looking at it. We're gonna like adjust some things. I'll do that while we're on break, especially, and get some of those adjusted around in ways that make sense, you know. Share Halloween costumes. Yeah. I would love to be like, yo, let me rate your Halloween costumes, and you show like what you were. And a lot of Halloween costumes, there's face paint, there's stuff you're wearing on your head, you know, like it's important that you actually can take a full picture of yourself. So yeah, so I don't want to restrict people on that kind of thing. So I'm gonna figure out how to reword it, but yeah, I want to do that shit. I want to have some sort of weekly thing like that too. Like once a week there's something, whether it's like we're reviewing drip or we're doing media share or we're doing whatever. So yeah, I'm working on that. Our sandwich review's coming, and fuck the sandwich reviews. Fuck that. Nuh-uh. So Discord recently leaked pictures of ideas. Oh yeah, for the people that like uploaded theirs like properly. Well, it seems like a lot of platforms, it's not so much that their own shit is getting leaked normally. It's more like when they use third-party services to verify these things, and then those third parties get attacked, and that's a breach of data that did belong to Discord, or you know, whatever. It sucks. Yeah, Twitch is using a third-party service. Yep. So the shit's just rough, man. I'm under the mindset, like, I try to keep myself as safe as I can. I try to do what I can. You all should too. But go into everything knowing there is a chance that something will happen. We're all going to get doxxed at some point, somehow. You know? Now, whether something happens, whether the wrong people end up seeing it, getting a hold of it before it, you know, the bleeding has stopped, you know, is a separate story. But, you know, everyone's info gets exposed in some way you don't want at some point. It's just inevitable, right? Like, you just have to accept that if you're going to be on the internet, it'll happen, right? So, you know, you do what you can. I got cameras everywhere. Okay? If someone tried to, like, go through a window, they would die. You know? Like, imagine it like a rust base. Okay? So you do what you can and just assume that, you know, things could happen. Trust me, there are landmines everywhere. I was laughing because in the Blood Church Discord, we have our only custom emote that belongs to the server. We have three. One says boom, and it's an explosion. The second one is a bee grenade, and the third is a mine. Just a landmine. The blurch. It's so funny. It's so funny. And when people join the Discord, if like someone accepts the invite, we put the landmine emotes, and everyone just goes, there are landmines everywhere. That's been good. We're probably gonna do Nuclear Nightmare this week. Banger game. Great for clips. Great for clips. Yeah, one of you said, I've probably already been doxxed by Microsoft when the big breach happened. Lamouse, this is nothing new. Yeah, just like regularly change your passwords. Two-factor auth with an actual authenticator app. Don't use your email. Don't click on weird shit. And keep your home safe. Just know that, like, it's inevitable. Most of you won't have to worry, because I doubt any of you have any people out there who are actually going to find out, like, your name and then go to your house. I don't think any of you have that. Creators, different story. Different story. We have to assume, like, every car outside is a fucking weirdo, you know? Like, right? You, like, have to. But, you know, you take the precautions you can. You take the precautions you can. My police are super aware of my situation, right? And I've told them, I'm like, hey, you ever get a call to me? Mm-mm. If it's not from me, mm-mm. If it's not from me or these people, mm-mm, you know. You do what you can. Right? Ooh, the boss of the company you work at has the company pay for a password manager for everybody. Oh, that's good. That's good. A lot of people don't use password managers. I think it should be more common. Experian fully doxed us all years ago. It's fine. Yeah. Always, always, always. I said I'm going back to straight cash. I'm not using banks anymore. I'm only using dollars. I'm paying for everything with US dollars. I'm gonna buy silver and bury it. I'm gonna bury silver. Yeah, I'm going off the grid, dude. I don't know. It's so hard. You just gotta have nothing to hide, right? Just live your life like a normal fucking person, right? Indy, you're free? Oh my god, Indy in chat, look at that. Indy, how long were you banned? Your last message is from April. Send it back. No. Why did you get banned again? What was it? 6 months. What was it for? What did you... I don't remember. I don't know if you know. Good old age, thank you. Return of the King. Welcome back, Indy. Woo, everyone, party poppers, streamers, you know, the little things. Oh, if we're saying something, then I ban evade. No, Indy, no. Well, I'm glad you served your time faithfully. And yes, you're back. I know you've been chilling in the Discord this whole time. Indy has never left the Discord because he couldn't Twitch chat. Oh, you poor thing. Well, look at you. Look at you go. Wow. Wow. Is me meta chat go back to normal? I don't know. I feel like Indy had like a whole bedroll, like a sleeping bag set up in the corner of the GTA chat. What is he saying there? Indy's like the specter of the chat. He pops in and says, "Gigi, my goat." God, man. 6 months is crazy. Well, it's okay. You know, you're so much better now. You're so much better now. Everyone switched to Kick. I only got this account back to watch the GOAT. Oh my god. It's true, you know. Fuck everybody, man. They left this platform. And you know, it's funny, some of them are coming back. they announced No Pixel 5. And I noticed some of the people that went to Kick being like, oh, I'm gonna do a Twitch day. Because they're only over there because you can get the bag over there, okay? And it's a lot of people that are like smaller streamers. It's unprecedented opportunity for them to make money over there, and they don't have to gamble or anything. And the thing is, like, a lot of the chatter base on that site sucks ass, but the chatter base that exists just in like the RP community, a lot of them are like very self-contained, and they're not from the other parts of the site, you know, so they're all right. So they actually have a good time streaming over there, so long as they're only in like the no pixel category, as long as they don't leave that category, you know. So I was like, guys, get your bag, you know? Get your bag. You don't have to promote gambling or anything. Fuck. You know? Don't make people subscribe there. Just like set up a dono link so the money doesn't even go through the site. Boom. You know? And they get paid per chat message when they're part of the incentive program. That's crazy. They get paid for having an active chat. Everything about the way Kick does it is just bleeding money. And I'm like, you know what? Those people should take advantage of that while it's there. It's someday probably will die, or it'll exist so long as they have like the gamba money, you know, behind them. As long as they have the money from stake, like kind of propping them up. But the site itself, self-contained, not counting that money, it's just bleeding money, you know. So I'm like, those people should go and get their bag while the RP community is like very quiet and not really a lot of viewers are there for it. And then when things are better, come back here. You know? When the server relaunches, come back here. Or dual stream. Like, that's the way to do it. Yeah, so the only good thing about Kick is no ads and good pay for streamers. Everything else is bad. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, from the streamer perspective, for those that don't have much opportunity here right now, I'm like, okay, do your thing. But outside of that, you know. You only made an account to watch TJ Numi. Yeah, I pretty much only made my account over there because Buddha was there, right? He had his contract ongoing. He's gonna return to Twitch at some point for sure, right? Like, as long as he doesn't have a contract, you know. So, but I made my account over there. Honestly, it was partially because he was there and I wanted to just say hi. You know, I just wanted to go there and say hi. But more so because I wanted to take my username. I didn't want anyone else to have my username on like another streaming platform, you know? So I went and grabbed it. Someone actually grabbed it at first. Someone immediately went in and took it, but I let them know, like, hey, this is me, here are my accounts. And they were like, okay. And they gave me the name instantly. They were like, here you go. So that's good. But I don't have plans to stream over there. I just wanted to be able to say hi to some of my friends, you know? So, yeah, no. Kick itself is the ad. That's why I don't play ads. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, their business model is purely like we're getting money injections from stake and whatever other like gambling sponsors we have, and we're gonna funnel some of that sponsor money to creators to keep them here. But in exchange, they're going to play those things like slots, whatever, on stream to advertise, right? I still think it's a losing model. I still think it's a losing model for the companies that are investing into it, but that usually doesn't get realized until later. I think. Maybe it's not. But like, from what I'm seeing, I think they're actually losing money on it, and I think they would make more money straight up putting that same amount into like normal ads on normal sites, like not paying streamers to play it, but just like, you know, shitty banner ads and stuff. I think they do better that way. But yeah, got a bad reputation too quick from some of the creators they paid. Oh, 100%. That was always the biggest thing for me. It was less about the platform itself and more about like what people they chose to be like the initial people. Like, the only one I joined the site to be able to chat in the chat of was Buddha. That was the only person. Pretty much everyone else that they initially pulled in, I was like, what is going on over here? Actually, a lot of Twitch streamers were like, oh, I'm glad they went somewhere else. You know, they were like, okay, great, bye. And then they felt it was kind of nice to have those chatters, those communities go over there. So a lot of Twitch streamers were like, yay, you know. But everyone's got like at least one friend who's over there because they got a really good contract or something. So we all have an account and we're just like, I don't know. So I hope the site stays up forever so that those people have like a quarantine is how I feel. And then, you know, others can go there and get the bag and then come back. I think that would be great. I think that'd be great. Millennials and Gen Z are gambling like crazy, mainly men. Yeah, I mean, it's always been a thing that when times are hard, people start gambling. Like outside of the internet age, right? Even before this, in areas that are repressed money-wise, people go gambling because it's the idea of like, I don't have much to lose anyway. Maybe I could turn what little I have into something, right? There's that thought of like, I could hit it big. And a lot of those people are already like down on their luck and they feel like they're not losing much anyway, which they are, but they feel like they're not. So they're like, you know. But yeah, when people are in a bad spot, they're like really likely to do that. But that's always been the case. You go look at like where casinos are and how a lot of like lower income areas historically were filled with people that would fund those casinos. So you'd have some rich people come in, some high rollers like fly in from wherever and do that thing. But a lot of the regulars were people without a lot of money, just gambling everything away, you know, because they felt like they didn't have much anyway. There wasn't anything they were saving for. They're like, I'll never be able to buy a house as long as I can make rent. Then I'll just gamble and hopefully I'll hit a big one time. Then I can quit all this, right? And that was like kind of the mindset. So yeah, since the dawn of time, I've noticed that like when times is hard, you see people doing that. So yeah, sucks. Poor people have trouble evaluating risk. I wouldn't generalize it like poor people have trouble evaluating risk. I would say most people have trouble evaluating risk. But if you are poor, it's actually an awful thing because it keeps you there. If you're not, then you could lose something, but you'll probably still be in an okay range. Therefore, it's not as devastating to you. Yeah, depressed people do. I think that's a good one. Yeah, depressed people do have trouble evaluating risk. So yeah, if you're poor and you're depressed because of it, yes. But yeah, I think like you're not wrong, but we can adjust it. It's not because they're poor. It's like other things, you know what I mean? But yeah. Young people have trouble evaluating risk due to experience of being naive. I say that as a young person, by the way. Yeah, no, that's very true. I think evaluating risk is something that you slowly learn over time, and you often learn the hard way. And you don't get to learn it the hard way, like unless you're an adult doing adult things, right? And you learn it over time. And there are plenty of people that don't learn, right? They I don't know. People get fucked up. We've been taught to be ignorant. All right, hold on. You're starting to get into the depression spiral, Tenmar. You're starting to get into the doom spiral of like, the man's keeping us down. You know? I think people just are stupid. I think that's a cop-out. I think people are always like, oh, other people are keeping others down and something society. I think people have always been stupid. The average person is average, and average is stupid. We are all less smart than we think. Okay? We are all more vulnerable to dumb shit than we think. Right? So I feel like, one thing to not do is to look at times right now and be like, this is the worst everything has ever been, unprecedented, blah, blah, blah. Maybe some individual things are unprecedented, yeah, like individual stats. But overall, the world goes through these cycles, right? This is why history is important. This is why it's important to study history, because you look at these things, figure out how did they get out of that when this happened. Is it different because we're in a different age? Yeah, every era is different. But, time is a flat circle, blah, blah, blah. blah, blah, blah. I think people have always been really dumb. Even the smartest people, you know, still have dumb moments, dumb decisions, whatever, because everyone's worldview is just a summation of whatever's gone on in their life, right? So something that makes sense in your perspective isn't going to make sense in someone else's perspective. So no one is ever going to be like always right, always able to fix everything and blah, 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 right? So, you know, just chill out, you know, buy that $70 video game and play it for 100 hours and, you know, go to the beach and go for a run, drink water. You'll be all right, you know? Like, obviously pay attention to the world around you, but don't get caught up in the spiral, because I think that is the thing that's different about today than it was in the past, is the level of dooming. People have always been dooming when things are bad. They've always been lamenting. But I think with devices and technology, whatever, yeah, we're inundated with bad shit constantly. We're reminded all the time of how bad things are. And we're told things are so much worse than they are in a lot of cases. Some things are that bad, some things really aren't. Yeah, everything's amplified, right? And it just like, it's just so bad for you. It's just bad for you. And to be in a mindset to do better for yourself, you have to not be in that pool of despair. You know, you have to do your best. The people that historically did best during hard times and got themselves out of it are legitimately the ones who remained positive, the ones who did what they could within their means, the ones who tried to live their day-to-day as normally as they could, regardless of how bad things were, you know, like just taking stock of the little things around them that they're thankful for, and literally just being like that, because it kept them in a better space mentally. Yeah, you want to be cute sad, not sad, not depressed sad. You want to be cute sad. You know, so making light jokes of this stuff and like being realistic but still trying to just have a good time is good. Yeah, distract yourself with VTubers, right? That's why, you know, I'll have these conversations, but we keep it vague, right? I don't have these like depressing conversations, doom spiraling about all these specific things going on in the world. We've got like a no politics, none of that kind of rule here, because I don't want people to like sit here and be like, oh, I just got home from work, what could I do today? Let me listen to somebody doom spiral for 6 hours, you know, like, and then I'll type with them and be like, the world is fucked, and it's just too much, man. It's too much. That's like a surefire way to just like kill yourself mentally. You just absolutely lose all sense of self. You, the person in your mind, will just die off if you keep doing that shit, right? So, yeah, people do it in real life too much, right? They sit around and they complain so much, and they're not wrong for what they're complaining about, but they don't stop. You know what I mean? Like, they don't get it out of themselves. They'll be like, I'm just venting, and I'll be like, all right, you just vented about this 20 times in a row for 30 minutes at a time each time. At what point are we no longer venting and we are perpetuating, right? Like, we gotta we gotta stop people. Stop venting, go protest, leave me alone. Yeah, like your initial vent is totally fine, but after that, okay, so do something or don't. I don't want to hear about it, you know? And it's not like I don't want people to be able to complain, but like they already did usually, you know? And now they're just making it worse. So I don't want this space to be a spot where people show up and they're like, let me dump everything here. It's time to get all my bad feelings out. We don't do that here, because you probably already have somewhere. You probably already have. And if you haven't, okay, well, you should. And then come here and chill out, you know? So, just saying. Like, I can't tell you how much I've seen people, like, retweet things on Twitter over and over for months about the same topics. And it's not things that need more awareness a lot of the time, right? It's stuff that, like, everyone knows about, everyone feels bad about. And they're just like headline after headline after headline. I'm going to make sure you see every headline. And I'm like, brother, do your initial research of a topic so that you understand what's going on in the world. If something new comes out that is very relevant and important to know and understand, okay, read that article. But like, let's stop. It's too much. It's the inundation, you know? So yeah, I unfollowed a lot of people, or you can actually, some people don't really post bad stuff, or not bad stuff, but negative stuff themselves. They only retweet negative stuff. So sometimes you want to see their posts, but you don't want to see their retweets. You can go to Twitter and you can go to somebody's profile and you can hide their retweets. This is a goated feature, because I have a lot of friends that are like artists and I want to see their art, but they retweet a fuck ton of like world news stuff, and I'm like, hey, I am not on Twitter for this. This is my, like, I am a VTuber on Twitter. I'm not here for this, right? So you can go to someone's profile. I'm gonna click what? It's the 3-dot menu at the top. The 3-dot menu. And the first thing that comes up is turn off reposts. And you can do this individually. Yeah, so if you want to like clean up your timeline, but you don't want to unfollow somebody, boom, it's this 3-dot menu on a Twitter profile. The top thing right there is turn off reposts. That is goated. If you have someone that you follow and they just will not stop retweeting shit that like you don't want to see, but their own posted posts are good, you can do that. But yeah. It's a nice feature. It's a really nice feature. This is why I delete Twitter. Yeah. I mean, because I use this and because I unfollow like people that can't stop these things or whatever, I mute people, etc. I have a really good time on Twitter. I don't go to the For You tab. I just do the following tab. And I have a great time on Twitter. I'm very capable of like avoiding all of that shit when I just scroll, because I spend, it takes a lot of effort, but I spend extra time curating all that. Yeah, I just don't go to the For You tab because it always gives me stuff that is like absolutely not for me. It's definitely not for me. They're like, do you want to know about this person that died? And I'm like, I don't want to see a video of someone dying, actually. I'm good. You know? Does that exist on Blue Sky too? I don't use Blue Sky. I don't know. I think Blue Sky is a cool idea, but I just don't see it. I pretty much only use social media as a creator, not as like a regular person, if that makes sense. So I have my accounts as a creator where I am posting stuff to reach you guys so you guys can stay updated, and I'm interacting with other creators. That's it. I don't use it for myself because I've never really been much of a social media user, much of a person liking that, right? So for me, I don't. So the only reason I don't have Blue Sky is because I don't foresee it giving me any growth. You know, it doesn't do anything for me. Twitter does, unfortunately, you know, it does. So for me as a creator, I will do it. Most creators still use that instead of Blue Sky. I'd say maybe in the art community, there's more people moving to Blue Sky, which is kind of nice to see that they have like a nice spot, because I think it's really good for artists. But yeah, I just kind of use it for like other streamers and stuff. So, you know. So there I am. It won't personally benefit me, so I won't use it advocating for it. It's crazy. It's true. It's true, because the only reason I use social media is for my own personal benefit. I don't use it for anything else. I just, if it didn't, honestly, if I weren't a creator, I would not have accounts on any of these things. I wouldn't, straight up. I made an Instagram just to have a username for myself, and I straight up don't use it. I don't open it at all. I have not opened the app or been on that app in for fucking ever. TikTok as well. I had one and I posted on a little bit. I might start posting on it again, but I like never scroll through it ever. You know, yeah, I don't do it for the gram. X, Twitter, whatever. I don't like calling it X. Twitter, I use again because it's there for my career, but it's not for me, you know, like the person, if that makes sense. So, you know, there you go. If you care about ideals, then it matters. I think you're just arguing to argue because your ideals are different from mine. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, yeah, I'm not down with what you're saying, because the honest opinion here is that when you use a site that specifically is the biggest one, and it's the one that you can grow on, and it's the one that makes sense for your purposes, whatever, then that is purely fine to do, regardless of like who owns it or whatever. Because at the end of the day, there are always a ton of bad people in like every company. There are people that are bad at the top, always. There are people that are platformed by these platforms. Maybe the owner isn't bad, but maybe the platforms bad people. You're assisting them by being on that platform as well and using it. You're always going to be in a circle where you existing there, you could argue that like, oh, you're helping it in some way. The only way to avoid getting accused of like being part of something, whatever, is to use nothing at all and to not exist on the internet. Yeah, right. There are plenty of shitters on Blue Sky. I'm not saying the owner's necessarily a shitter. I actually don't know much about the owner at all. Never looked into them. But yeah, there are plenty of people that are platformed on it. And I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't use Blue Sky because there's some shitters on there. If you do that, yeah, you're right. It never ends. Right. Let's then you start talking about like Nestle, right? Right. Well, now you can't eat any food from the grocery store because it's all owned by Nestle, you know. If you start doing that, then the only way to follow any morals is to go completely off the grid. Yeah, be Amish. You know what I mean? It's a slippery slope. Right. You get into the conversation of they're right. There's no ethical consumption. You pick and choose your battles. And I think this is something you realize more and more as you get older. A lot of these battles are not worth fighting, and you as an individual often can't really do anything crazy about it. So what you do is you express your discontent, but you don't have to like cut yourself off from the world for it. You know, you express your discontent. Perhaps you make a meme of somebody who owns a thing that you don't like. That makes them really upset when they see it. You know, you do what you gotta do. But you don't, you know, you don't have to like completely shrink away from the world. You're on Twitch, right? Apologies, you got timed out because clearly you were like, you're going in on it and we're letting you cool down for a bit. But you're on Twitch. Who's the owner of Twitch? What company owns Twitch? Oh, Amazon.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is we need to start the mob commune and live off the land, Kona.
It's the only way. We're building a bunker, guys. We're going to build a bunker. We're going to build a bunker. Yeah, man. I mean, you could say so many bad things about ownership of Twitch and leadership of Twitch. You could say so many bad things about ownership and leadership of YouTube, about like every platform, all the way down. There's so many fingers you can point. And it's just, it's always been like this, man. It's always been like this. And no one's gonna see you be like, I'm not using X because I don't, you know, like some of the people that own it. Okay. Who's going to clap for you? Are you getting anything out of this? Are you helping yourself in your life? It just, nothing happens. You know, because you're a drop in the bucket. Well, no, you're a drop in the ocean, realistically. You know? So, it's just, it's like, it's unfortunate. I'm not saying I think that I'm happy the way the world is like this all the time, you know? I'm just saying, like, this is the more realistic way to approach it, because realistically, what can you do? You know? Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Do it if it makes you feel better, not for the cloud, not to follow the crowd. Yeah, exactly. You do what is right for you. And if what is right for you is being like, yeah, I don't want to be on whatever platform, that's totally fine. But never put it on someone else, ever. Never put it on someone else, you know? You just do it for yourself. Yeah, I agree. No, you said most people would live a better life if they were off X. 100%. That's why I said, me personally, I only use it as a content creator. If I weren't a content creator, I wouldn't be on it at all. I said that before any of this part of the conversation, right? Like, straight up, I wouldn't be there. You know? What's best for me is no social media. But using it as a content creator is very different than using it personally for me, and I don't really have that much of a bad time. So I'm like, okay, well, this way of using it does not cause me problems, and I only gain for it because I'm able to have another avenue of communicating to, you know, followers and things, people that are part of my community. All right, so I'll use it. You know, it's a valuable tool for me. You know? I'm also like able to not doom scroll though. So I don't really like have to cut myself off from it. So for me, you know, it's not really a big deal for me on the personal level to like use a platform that is known for like keeping people on it, because I'm very good at just being like, okay, I posted my thing, I checked on my friends' profiles to say hi and comment on stuff, and I'm done. You know? Using extras for the art is still there? 100%. 100%. It's true. Would you say that also applies to TikTok? It's for every single platform, yeah. Every single one. For me, I think the only thing I would be using is Twitch, honestly, because I just love community and I get really good mental health benefits from being parts of communities and parts of friend groups and all these things. For me, it's like, it's really good for me, you know? So for me, I would probably still be using just Discord and Twitch if I were not a streamer. That would be it, which is essentially how I existed before this. I only used Discord and Twitch before this anyway. And I guess YouTube for watching content, but I wasn't like posting on it. You know, I wasn't using it like a social media way. I wasn't commenting, but I was just watching videos. But yeah, that's literally that. I wouldn't be anywhere else at all, honestly. Yeah, I agree with what you said, Detective, before about the water bottle thing. Yep. You go to Twitter to look at a never-ending stream of cat videos. Yeah, it's all about how you use it, right? It's all about what you're searching for or where you are specifically on a platform. Because, pretty much like, pretty much every single, I don't want to say it. I don't know how I want to say it. Whatever, forget what I was saying. Yeah, it's amazing how much of a leap it is to go from someone who watched YouTube to someone who comments on YouTube. Oh, yeah, no one comments compared to how many people watch. I mean, I can give an example. Oh, I remember how I want to word the thing from before. But if I go to one of my videos and I'm like, okay, how many views did I get on this thing versus how many comments are on it, right? I gotta view my channel. Oh, that's my voice. And I go to my videos and I check, like, let's do like my most viewed. Wow, the male VTubers one is still the most viewed. 376K. Think of this. 376,000 individual views. You know how many comments this video has? 660. 660. That is nothing compared to the number of views that there are, right? How many people do I really think watch this multiple times? Not many. That's the like view to comment ratio that we typically get on YouTube is shit like that. Like, no one comments. How many likes? Irrelevant, because we're talking about the leap between, I don't know. Here's another one. The video where I talked about my cancer, 305,000 views, 773 comments. That's it. 20,000 likes. But 773 comments for like 300,000 views? It's so few people that really like go and actively interact with these videos, you know? Yes, well less than 1%, right? So, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's healthy. What percentage of those comments are bots and spam? We don't actually get a lot on my channel because my editing team really actively looks at the comments section, and the moment we see something that we think is like a bot, we hide the user from the channel. Which is something I love, by the way, on YouTube. If you don't like someone's comments and the way they say things rather than banning. So like on Twitch, when someone gets banned, they see like a big thing over chat. It's like, you can't chat because you're banned. And a lot of the time it makes people like feel something, you know? They're like, they feel frustrated because they can't type, and then they screenshot the ban thing and they post on Twitter and they're like, oh, I got banned, stupid fucking idiot, you know, and they complain or whatever. But on YouTube, you press the hide user from channel button, yeah, and they get shadow banned. So they can still, from their perspective, they don't know that they're banned, and they can type and add comments. They see their own comment on the video, everything, but no one else sees it, not even the creator. It's just gone. Boom, gone. I love that so much. The shadow realm is so nice because it doesn't rile those people up. You know, you do that on Twitter too. Known as muting. No. The problem. So I wish Twitter had that. With Twitter, when you mute somebody, you don't see what they post, but they can still reply on all of your posts and other people can see it. So if you have a dedicated hater that keeps saying like untrue shit, you can't mute them for everyone. And they get the feeling like they're replying or anything like that. You can only full ban, which doesn't let them, you can block, which doesn't let them reply, but then they see the block thing and they always screenshot that and post that too. They're like, oh, you blocked me, I really got to you, you know? There's no actual proper shadow ban for like everyone on Twitter, which I really wish there was. I like it a lot. You said I hate that so much. The shadow banning, I love that. I think if you get shadow banned, I can understand why you get pissed or something, but it's so much healthier. It's healthier because when you like block people and they know you blocked them, yeah, they're like, oh, I won, or it often incentivizes people to keep doing shit to you or to keep like pursuing you to other platforms. That is so like, that is so awful. That is so awful. I hate that. I wish shadow banning per user was like doable, or like for your own profile, I should say. Because then you could have these people not appear, but then not have them like get something out of it, you know? It curbs negative behavior. Yeah, like shadow banning is honestly the only way to curb that behavior, genuinely. But I don't know. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Moro. You're like, I'm 100% that Twitter has shadow banning, just that it's not accessible to anyone on our level. Oh, yeah, we know that. I want like a users can actually use it type of shadow banning. 100% they've done it for other shit. I get shadow banned for no reason whatsoever. I think it's often automatic. AI is doing it based on some word combination. You can check by loading the video in incognito mode. Okay, so maybe that's true. I will say, I'm not saying this is necessarily true for you, but I will say, when I ban somebody, maybe 75% of the time, the person's like, you banned me for no reason. They always think they got banned for no reason. They think they're right. But me and the entire mod team are all like, this person should get banned. I'm not saying necessarily that's true for you, but just make sure, like, there might be something that you are saying or an attitude that you have that people don't like, and you might not realize it. Genuinely. You know? It could also be a word combination or something. But also, you just said you can check by loading the video in incognito mode. The fact that you load videos in incognito mode to see if you've been shadow banned shows that you are caring too much. Let it go. Trust and believe. You will feel so much better if you just don't do that. Don't do it, okay? It's not good for you. You know, it's not good at all. You're gonna go crazy if you keep doing that. You're gonna drive yourself nuts. You're gonna drive yourself so nuts. You know? But I do like the shadow banning on YouTube, man. I wish we had it everywhere. We had to shadow ban someone today, dude. Oh my god. I'm gonna say this. I wanted to say something about it. I had a clip talking about artists. Okay, and on this clip, I talked about what did I say? What was the name of the clip? Oh, I was talking about how it's like hard to find artists that are good with, right? Finding professional artists is a nightmare is the name of the clip. And someone commented saying that the person was upset because they were an artist that had tried to work with my team previously. Not with me, it was my team. But they think it's me. But my team, right? And they were like, she should really pick what she complains about, because girl, I was hired and delivered something that day and then it was rejected. So I just want to say, I'm saying it because the person was banned, so none of, or shadow banned, so none of you can see who it was. None of you can go attack this person. They did not deliver to the quality level that we needed. The things with the sketch were not looking how we wanted them to look. So we said, we're not going to move forward with it. Okay, this happens often. Whenever you see something that we finally produce and put in a thumbnail or put on merch, we've often rejected multiple versions of it and changed it, or gone with a different artist if we felt like the original artist wasn't hitting what we wanted. Okay, this is normal. That person also gave us a sketch and then was trying to charge $300 for a sketch. And we were like, for a thumbnail? YouTube videos don't make anywhere near that. So, you know, I'm just saying. Now, maybe there was a miscommunication. Maybe they meant like, oh, this is for the final version eventually. I just want it now or something. I don't know. The communication we got was just for a sketch. Okay, so we were like, whoa. All right. It might be different if it was said beforehand and they were like, if they said something like, maybe it was a rush fee and we just didn't know, right? And they were like, oh, it's because it's quick or something, because I'm giving it to you today. But it just wasn't. So, you know. So, there are a lot of people that will think they're doing nothing wrong when they comment on things, and, you know, different perspectives is what I'm saying. Different perspectives, right? For sure. Anyway, I'm only saying this because you won't be able to tell who it is. So, please, you know. And you think artists can learn to be more professional? Work in a normal job? Have a manager? I don't think they can in a lot of cases. I think this has always been an issue. They need to be held accountable. I think people need to fuck up and be held accountable to change. If they fuck up but nothing really bad happens, then they will just continue that behavior. This is not just artists, this is for everybody. So like if they're on a site like VGen, what happens is they're like, oh, it's $100 for this drawing. The person who's hiring the artist pays $100 right there to get the thing done. The artist does it. When it is delivered and both parties have agreed it's good and done, then that money that the site is holding gets paid out to the artist. So if the artist fucks up, that money can go back to the person. There's like a middleman checking it. So they're not being managed by the site, but like consequences can happen, right? I think that's just it. That's what needs to happen, right? That's all. That's all. Be professional is a low bar. It's just saying you're talking and no one, I don't know, sorry. It's saying you're going to do the work on a timeline and then do the work on the timeline. I think most people are like, okay, I know people love to shit on middle management. And I do think there are a lot of bad people in middle management that do nothing. But the good managers have often this one skill that is goated that very few people have, and it's a reason why good managers get to be good managers. Gauging time, managing expectations properly being able to answer and being correct when someone's like, how long is this project gonna take? How long will it take for me to get this thing delivered? And they're like, this will take 3 weeks. This will take 50 hours, right? People who are able to accurately do that are so few and far between. They're very few in this world that can like properly gauge that. So it's not just artists that are really bad with timelines, but like everybody with the amount of work they do, everybody sucks at it. And that is just what a lot of, again, only the good ones, but the good managers are often good at, is like understanding their team and being able to like properly talk to a client and tell the client like, yeah, no, realistically, this will take this many hours, right? And they don't even talk to their team too much about it. They already know, and they just kind of keep the expectations going, right? So it's I wish there were more people that were able to do it, but I find it's just a skill that like not many people have. It's really difficult to develop that, especially not just about yourself, but about other people and how quickly they work. That is like really really uncommon, and when you do come by that, it's a godsend. It's a godsend. These people don't exist, and if they were right, they got lucky. Can you shut the fuck up? I'm not going to start going into my work experience, but like, brother, I know these people. They're a godsend and they're amazing. I'm so sorry that you didn't get to work with good managers. I know there are a lot of bad ones out there, but they are real, the good ones. And they get paid a lot. Unfortunately for everyone else. But they do get paid a lot because they're great. Never met one? Okay, that's fine. But you said they don't exist like you're, you know, like you've met every manager in the world. Don't generalize. Don't generalize. Don't do it. Don't do it. When someone generalizes against you, you'd be so upset. But I work in tech. Don't care. Don't care. How many different companies have you worked at? Most people worked at a couple. How many tech companies are there? A billion, you know? I would accept it more if you were maybe a consultant that's worked with, like, you know, damn near 100 clients, 50 clients, you know what I mean? Then it's different. But when you've only worked in a couple companies, I promise you just haven't seen much of what's out there. Yeah, exactly. You know? I promise they're out there, and it sucks. It's sad, but I've met everyone. Yeah. I promise they're out there. The issue is, here's what happens, is the crazy thing, that's the worst. The really good ones know they're good, and they get scooped up by consulting firms, because when you work as a consultant, you can often, like, bill out the ass per hour. So the good managers, because they're so few and far between, get scooped up by the big consulting firms, and then get sent out for like $1 bajillion an hour. And they do all that work, and they get paid so much. They get paid so much. And they come in for a short interim position or like a 6-month, year-long contract, and then they're gone once they've set stuff up, and then they put the bad managers back in once the consultants are gone. And it is like, they usually don't stay at companies unless those companies are paying them out the ass, because consultancies will pay them out the ass. The real good ones are doing so well that you never see them. That is often true. Yeah. Yeah, that's often true. Or they're like one layer above your team and your own manager, right? They're, instead of project manager, they're like a program manager or a director who's actually good, and you don't get to talk to them. You know? So, like McKinsey Consulting, the merger and split between Warner Bros. And Discovery. Are you trying to jab? Look, the big consulting firms are really good. There are going to be people within them that are maybe not the best, but they're usually really, really good. And I just wish they would fucking stop and let some of those people stay at companies. But they get paid so much. They get paid so much. So I feel like, you know, it is what it is, man. Had a great PM at your old job, which timed projects almost perfectly, terribly overworked because of it. That's the other thing too, right? They suffer from the same thing any good worker does, which is when you're good at this shit, you get all the work put on your desk, right? When you demonstrate that you're good, you get more work, but not more pay for it. Like everybody does. So, you know, those managers, the good ones, you'll like never see them. They're suffering from the same thing like a really good dev will, you know, where you just get thrown a bunch of work. I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, usually the consultants that are there for those kinds of mergers, they're not the strategy. When you're a consultant, a lot of the time the work is you get brought into something, some sort of project or task, and they're like, we need to know what to do here. And you tell them how to do it. And oftentimes the consultant is like, here's how you do it. It's not a good idea though. And then the executives that hired them are like, I don't care. Let's do it anyway. Execute it. And the consultant is like, okay, if you're going to pay me $1 million, I guess. And then the C-suite is like, yeah, here's $1 billion. You know, so, and then the consultants throw up their hands and they go, okay, whatever you want. And they, you know, and they go execute that poor decision to the best of their ability. And they get paid out the ass for it. And when it goes poorly, it doesn't matter. They're not at fault because their name isn't on it. And they made a lot of money, so they don't care. You know? So that's like the consulting experience typically, right? Also, thank you, Legacy. Thank you. Welcome on in. Can't they still blame the consultant? They do on the personal level, but they can't do anything to them legally, according to the contracts usually. So they might actually, they usually do verbally. Like the bosses will be like, "Oh, this was fucked up by that consulting firm and totally not us. It was totally not our decision." And that's how a lot of C-level people, like bad CEOs at companies, are able to stay in their role, is because everything that goes wrong, they blame on like consultants and third parties that they hire in, and they're like, "Oh, those people advised me and they were so bad." And they pretend that their own cooked decisions were the fault of those people who are gone. Yeah. And then they're just like, "Oh man, I wish I could fix it, but I couldn't because they forced me at gunpoint to make this strategic decision, you know?" And then they keep their CEO job for like forever, you know? That's just how it is. That's just how it is. I feel like that's the case of a lot of people that own a lot of companies, though, right? Like, nothing's their fault. It's always someone in middle management's fault, or someone lower down's fault. Like, it's always that, right? Always, always. I don't know. That's why, honestly, it's really nice to get a job and just be like sometimes a bottom of the barrel dude just doing their work. Because a lot of the time you can just do your thing and then you're just like, "I did my job." Throw your hands up in the air. "I did my job. I did it. Whatever." You know? That's just how it is. Okay, thank you for the sub. That's why you keep a record. Oh, yeah. You keep record of everything. As per my email, you know? You always do that. You always, always, always do that. I don't know. I've worked a lot of different roles in a lot of different ways, and I gotta say, big fan of not being in charge. Huge fan of not being in charge. Big fan of not having to communicate with anyone, you know, on well above or anything like that. Anytime you are placed in that kind of role where you're in charge, man, if you got a nice client, you got a nice client. But if you don't, it's the worst spot to be in. Worst spot to be in. No thanks. No thanks. But I don't know, man. All I can say is put everything in writing, email everything. Anyway, let's play a game. Let's play a game. Let's play a game. Here we go. The Stepper. I'm gonna be the Stepper. We're gonna play more baby steps. This game got real existential. Okay, this went from, I think this game is Millennial Doomcore. Right? I think this game is depressed Millennial Doomcore. It's cool. It's cool. It's it started off as like really funny. And like kind of surreal humor. And then we get to this really funny part of the game and it just drops this bombshell that's like so existential. And this, I love it. So the game kind of starts off with you looking at the main character Nate and being like, "Look at this guy," and you're like, "Haha, he's like kind of pudgy and he looks kind of normal and he's like kind of a loser. He's got a lot of social anxiety. Haha, weirdo." And it's very pointing fingers at that guy. It's like making fun of his body, it's making fun of his face, it's making fun of the way he talks, everything, right? And you are on the side of that as the player as well. And you're like not really rooting for him. You're just like, "Haha, this guy's a fucking idiot," right? And then time passes. It's getting weirder and weirder. Because you play as him, you start to root for him a little more, but it's still kind of like you making fun of him. And then all of a sudden, he admits that he just like wants to die. You just see him, a culmination of he just hates his life. And you're like, "Oh." And it suddenly gets dark. And it keeps the goofiness up. It's kept the goofiness up. But now it's goofy with us also understanding something about this guy that we, you know, We could have maybe like assumed, but we never thought about because the goofiness covered it, right? And I'm like, that is so like depressed millennial core, man. Yeah. I went to gallows humor, yeah. So it's still funny, but like with a deeper understanding of the guy, and I think that's more relatable too, right? So I don't know, it's cool. I like it. I like where it's going. I like what we're seeing, okay? I am liking what we're seeing. It's also, it still keeps talking about breast milk. Um, you know, let's change the playlist. Let's change the playlist. But yeah, this is how it happens in the real world for sure, for sure. Um, so it's just very interesting that they went this route. I like it. And it keeps all of the like funny parts intact too. It doesn't take a dark turn and then stop being funny, you know? So I